Southeast Michigan Podcast. Daniel back with you here. And like I always say, life gets in the way. Last week I wanted to double up and get 2 episodes out there. It just didn't happen. Wife and I went to Pine Knob again this year, second time, and we got to see Three Doors Down in Creed, so that was kind of a bucket list show. And, you know, I guess just other things got in the way too as well. Went out to eat a couple times and just busy. And then now with the month of August here, both my kids are, one's going to be cheering, one's going to be playing. So it remains to be seen if I can actually get more than one episode out per week. But we are going to absolutely try. We have done 10 teams in our Big Ten season preview. And we're about to do 2 more to make 12, so we are itching close. The Hall of Fame game was last Thursday. Camp's starting. Players are, holding out. There's trade rumors, of course, with the NFL. And then, of course, the Counter Stallions thing just keep on making waves. So this episode is going to be specifically for our 2 teams this week. If you want to hear any of my Counter Stallions takes and opinions, you can re-listen or watch the older episodes. And we did an update back in June. I believe that was June 2nd, and we did one a couple weeks ago about him getting a Netflix documentary. So really my takes are going to be the same in those episodes as they are now. My mind hasn't really changed. The threat of vacating anything isn't really there. Of course, the rival fan bases are still hot on the trail, pushing for the outcome. But that's a whole nother episode, a whole nother topic. So again, if you want to hear my takes on that situation, just just check back at the headline titles, and you'll find it. Like I said, one in June, one a couple weeks ago. The Southeast Michigan Podcast, of course, is free and available wherever you watch, listen. YouTube, subscribe, click the bell there, rate 5 stars if you can be so kind. And as we inch closer to August 25th, I'm telling you right now, the giveaway is selective. Michigan autographed jerseys are the contest, right? If you want a chance to win a J.J. McCarthy autographed jersey or a Blake Corum autographed jersey, both Michigan home style, the blue and maize, all you gotta do, follow the show on Twitter/X, and then head over to the YouTube channel and comment on any of the videos there, your Twitter name/handle, whatever you want to call it, and comment it there. 1 entry per person, and then August 25th, we're going to find 2 winners for these respectable jerseys, and they are clean, they're nice, and they are COA'd by Beckett. Excuse me. So get yourself a chance to hop in if you haven't already. 1 entry per person, and you got about 20 days left. And we'll make the announcement on the socials. All the links in the description box will take you where you need to go. All right. Let's get into our 2 teams. The teams on our schedule today are the Indiana Hoosiers and the Michigan State Spartans. Let's get into the Indiana Hoosiers. Let's see here. And again, if you're new here, we go over off-season headlines, news notes type deal. We do our the team's key losses, key additions, and then we go game by game through the schedule. All right, Indiana Hoosiers. 2023, they went 3-9, 1-8 in the Big Ten play. Tom Allen, fired after 7 seasons as the Hoosier head coach, went 33-49 overall. Last 3 seasons, Indiana has won just 3 conference games and went 9-27. So after 2020, when Indiana had kind of a school program changing momentum swing here, they've kind of just spiraled out of control And, Michael Penix, of course, goes to Washington, and, the rest is history. New head coach Kurt Cignetti, was 52-9 at James Madison and brought in some of his players via portal. In 13 seasons as a head coach, Cignetti has never had a losing season. His worst was a 6-5 year at IUP in Elon. The most an Indiana team has been 9 games in a season. They have done that only twice, 1967 and 1945, when the Big Ten was called the Western Conference. Via On3, Indiana had 38 players transfer out this season. Incoming transfer quarterback Curtis Rourke, and I would assume sophomore Taven Jackson will be competing for the starting gig, but Rourke will probably land it since this is his final year. There's one more like graphic too that I think I had on here. This is I don't have it like ready to go up on the screen for you, but actually there's 2 of them. So Big Ten returning starters according to Fox CFB, Indiana has got 10, and then there was one that I'll share eventually here, probably when we do Michigan. Fox CFB also put Big Ten trophies, like a headline, like a display as national titles and Heisman's. Um, Indiana is one with 0-0. So Northwestern, Indiana, Purdue all have 0 titles, 0 Heisman's, and then like the next after that is Oregon with 0 natties but 1 Heisman, and then you have Wisconsin 0 natties, 2 Heisman's. So, anyways, the list goes on up. Of course, Michigan's leading with 12-3. But anyways, I'll post that graphic up when we get closer to when we do Michigan. Anyways, all right. So those are the Indiana Hoosier headlines. Key losses: offensive lineman Khalil Benson transfers to Colorado. Safety Lewis Moore leaves for Ole Miss. Moore tallied 3 interceptions and 82 tackles. Wide receiver Cam Camper transfers to Boise State, a former 4-star recruit. Defensive end Philip Blidi transfers to Auburn. Running back Trent Howland, who played in 23 games as a Hoosier, leaves for Oklahoma State. And safety Kobe Minor leaves for Memphis. Now, key additions. Defensive lineman C.J. West from Kent State. He has 7 sacks over 4 seasons. Defensive back D'Angelo Pons, follows coach from James Madison. Tight end James Horton, also from James Madison. Linebacker Jalen Walker from James Madison as well, who tallied 124 tackles and 2.5 sacks in his last 2 years for the Dukes. Safety Sean Asbury II comes in from Old Dominion. Asbury has over 120 tackles as a Old Dominion Monarch. Wide receiver Keyshawn Williams transfers from Wake Forest. His former teammate and leading Wake Forest receiver Jamal Banks transferred to Nebraska. Wide receiver Miles Cross from Ohio. And quarterback Curtis Rourke, also from Ohio, his 6th season coming in. As a Bobcat, he compiled over 7,500 passing yards, 50 touchdowns through the air, and over 800 yards rushing with 11 tutties to go along with it. He also boasts a 2022 MAC Offensive Player of the Year and Player of the Year award honors. So a accomplished quarterback, MAC quarterback to be exact. So, of course, to be seen how that translates to Big Ten. All right, 2024 schedule. Now, Indiana usually never gets any favors from the conference in terms of, what you would call a favorable schedule. So usually they are getting boned. Usually they're getting the short end of the stick. So we'll see how they do. Their over/under projection via FanDuel is 5.5. So let's turn on the browser cam for y'all. Take me off, and as you can see up on the screen, where we are beginning this venture for the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, FIU, Florida International, August 31st, 3:30 game. For these non-conference games, one would hope that talent prevails, right? I'm going to go W here. it's probably not going to be an easy one. I don't see Indiana improving very much this year, especially with the first year head coach. Um, you know, don't really think he ever had a losing season, and this might happen uh, in Bloomington. But anyways, Florida International is going to be a win, very close though. Then they host Western Illinois. Give me a dub. They travel to Los Angeles. They're going to play UCLA. That's going to be a loss. That's going to be a night game at the Rose Bowl. You're going to have that one on NBC and Peacock. Then they come back home for Charlotte. That's going to be a W. They then host again for Maryland. Now, I'm not 100% confident here, but I'll be rocking with Mike Locksley. Go Terps. The Hoosiers then go to Illinois, or not Illinois, excuse me, Northwestern, aka the football field on the beach. That's going to be an L. I'm giving the Wildcats the win here. This is going to kind of, starting with Maryland, this is going to kick off a slide here, a string of L's, if you will. Okay, some of these teams we've already previewed. We've already previewed UCLA. Already previewed Northwestern. Already did Nebraska. Already did Washington. Okay, they're going to lose at Maryland, right? They're going to lose at home to Maryland. They're going to lose at Lake Michigan Stadium. Just kidding, not the real name of it, right? They're going to lose to Nebraska at home. They're going to lose to Washington at home. They're going to go on the road to Michigan State on November 2nd. That's going to be a loss. Then they have Michigan at home. Doesn't matter, but that's going to be null as well. So between the Michigan State and Michigan game, they're going to be currently on a 6-game losing streak, 3-6 overall, and I don't think they're going to win again. Okay, because then they have a trip to Columbus, and then a home stop for Purdue. So, just an absolutely rough month there, right? Nebraska, Washington, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State. Again, the Hoosiers just never ever get a good run. Let's look here on Wikipedia real fast. I don't have it written down versus Ohio State, but let's look, for example, what their all-time record is versus Ohio State. Right? They got to travel to Columbus. Let's see here. This series is 79, 12, and 5. 79, 12, and 5. If you're watching the screen right now, you see that I'm on Wikipedia.com. It's a current win streak of 28 for Ohio State. 1991 to 2023, Ohio State has beaten Indiana 28 straight times. In 1990 was a tie. 1989, the Buckeyes won 35-31. 1990 was a 27-27 tie. The last time Indiana beat Ohio State was in 1988, and that was after a 1987 win. So Indiana won in Columbus in 1987, 31-10. They followed that up with they beat the hell out of Ohio State, 41-7 in Bloomington the following year. After that, it has been all Ohio State. So they've only won 12 times. So we're talking 88-87. They tied 0-0 in 1959. I think that's about when Ohio State was asked, or Woody Hayes is turning them around about that time. Or maybe not. Maybe that was like before. I can't remember. 1951, 47, 43, 37. It's pretty rough. Okay, figured out to look at that though, because I was interested in seeing that. So yeah, let me spin you around. So right there, you got 3 wins. Okay, they're going 3-9. They're not winning a Big Ten game. They're gonna barely beat Florida International, barely beat Western Illinois, barely beat Charlotte, and they're losing to literally every conference game they got. I might, if they win somehow over Northwestern, okay, call me out, right? put me on freezing cold takes. I I just don't see it there, and I don't think they're going to beat Purdue either. That's just me. I am kind of a bit of a bullish closet, you know, homer for Ryan Walters, whatever, Purdue's head coach. But the over under is 5.5 games. I'm hammering the under. Um, yeah, I'm pretty confident in that. But Cignetti doesn't keep his winning season streak alive, and on another schedule destined to Bone, Indiana. That's literally what I have in my notes. So there you go. All right, Hoosiers out of the way. When we come back, we're talking Sparty, my favorite rival. Sports betting has rapidly risen in popularity, and I want to connect you all with an opportunity to get started or get ahead. Having multiple sportsbook accounts is the most simple way to maximize your profits, and there has never been a better time to sign up. When you visit my page, signupexpert.com/southeast, you'll be connected to all the sportsbooks in your region, along with a review of each platform and its unique benefits. All of these sportsbooks have valuable sign-up offers for new users, and when you register through my link, you automatically receive the top offer at each one. When you use multiple sportsbooks, you ensure that you can always access the best available odds, which is key to successful sports betting. If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support our brand, please consider signing up for your next sportsbook at signupexpert.com/southeast. All right, back for my favorite rival, Michigan State Spartans. God, I don't look forward to doing this at all. I'm just kidding. It's not that gross. All right, Michigan State, 2023 went 4-8, 2-7 in conference play. The Mel Tucker era comes to an embarrassing end. Jonathan Smith in from Oregon State. Quite honestly, the state of the rivalry with Michigan has seemingly cooled off for now. And that being said, the bitterness from fans and players, coaches, whatever, is just kind of tapered off a little bit. There was it? I think it was a Sound Mind and Body Camp or whatever that Michigan State do, and there was, I think, Isaiah Hall from Lockdown was posting pictures of Sharon and Jonathan Smith, walking together, and there's not been like tabloid level stuff. There's not been bulletin board material from either side. It's been eerily quiet, right? But it's a good thing. Jonathan Smith, kind of an outsider coming in. There's not, Mark D'Antonio came in right instantly with vitriol and the Mike Hart thing, and so far everything has been kind of, business as usual behind closed doors, right? They're just both teams head down working, and so I guess it's kind of a breath of fresh air, right? All right, Aiden Childs or nothing, in my opinion, here with this program. At the moment, MSU has 4 quarterbacks on roster, 2 freshmen, and a 6-year clipboard holder. And then you have Aiden Childs. His team, his time. MSU has had a 5-week stretch of, or has a 5-week stretch of brutal matchups this year on their schedule, and we will get to that momentarily. So, again, I'm kind of with a team that's going to probably be still working out their kinks, but if their signal caller, you know, plays at an inspiring level, they could shock 1 or 2 teams. All right, let's get into their key losses. Okay, they lost a lot of players. Defensive lineman Derek Harmon leaves for Oregon, so he's staying in the conference. Defensive lineman Simeon Barrow moves to Miami, Florida. Losing both these linemen are huge blows. So MSU, even in their dark years, most recent years, say years. I mean, whatever, but 2021 was successful. Their defensive line has been a strength, you know, their front seven's been at strength. Their secondaries have been absolutely horrendous. And Harmon and Barrow leaving, it's going to hurt. Edge by Job, a former 4-star recruit, transfers to Kansas. Safety Jaden Magnum transfers to Michigan. 73 tackles, 4 interceptions in 2 seasons with MSU. So Magnum, part of a pretty lackluster unit over the last 3-4 years. Coming to Michigan, it's like, as a Michigan fan, maybe the consistency or maybe the weaknesses are polished into something good, and he can be a big time contributor for the Wolverines. At least that's my hope, and I think that could potentially be something. But yeah, he goes obviously to Ann Arbor. Quarterback Noah Kim moves on to Coastal Carolina. Edge Tunmais Adelele, a former 5-star recruit, moves to Texas State, originally from Texas A&M. So, last year when we did our preview, and I kind of read that off, saying former 5-star recruit coming to East Lansing, thought that might have been a big get. Could have been like kind of an Ayabi Oki, Yabi Anoma, whatever Michigan had. He came from Alabama, UTSA, whatever, and he started to contribute towards the back half for the Wolverines in 2022, and ends up going to Charlotte with Biff Poggi, and I thought Adelele was going to be kind of a mirror image, someone who can contribute and then gradually, be like, man, if this guy comes back, what could be. Tight end Malik Carr left for Houston. I want to, I wrote this up a while ago. I think he might have withdrawn his name. I could be wrong. So Malik Carr, I did write this down that they left for Houston, but there might have been a point in time where he withdrawn. I forgot to maybe change that or double check that. So don't quote me verbatim there. Then you got 2 more quarterbacks leaving, okay? Sam Levitt going to Arizona State, Caden Hauser going to East Carolina. So all 3 quarterbacks who contributed last season, gone. Defensive end Zion Young's going to Missouri. Running back Jalen Berger transfers to UCLA, reported by On3's Pete Nakos on July 22nd. So it's August 5th now. I wrote this up on July 22nd, and so I kind of edited this in while I was doing more notes. But yeah, Jalen Berger going to the Bruins. He had 173 carries as a Spartan and 84 as a Wisconsin Badger, so his 3rd team. And in 4 years total between 2 schools, Berger tallied just over 1,300 scrummage yards and 10 touchdowns. So 3 different teams, technically the same conference, right? But to me, UCLA, called the Pac-12. Key additions: quarterback Aiden Childs comes in from Oregon State with Jonathan Smith as head coach. And as I alluded to earlier, it's Aiden Childs' show. If the Spartans can have an above-average to good running game, the play action with Childs could be lethal. Defensive lineman Quindarius Dunnigan from Middle Tennessee State. That sounds like it's a Key and Peele skit. Tight end Jack Velling, who had a solid year at Oregon State last season, is on the Mackey Award watch list, so he's coming in. Linebacker, Jordan Turner from Wisconsin. Linebacker Samaj Bridgman coming in from Michigan. So seemingly a nice little free agent trade there, I guess, between Magnum and Bridgman. Defensive coordinator Joe Rossi from Minnesota comes in. Gophers took a step back in 2023, but the 2 years prior, so 21 and 22, Rossi had them statistically as one of the conference's best defenses. So again, with the play action, I think with Jack Velling here could be a nice little chain mover. 3rd and long, 3rd and medium, hell, even 2nd and 1. I think that, like I said, the potential's there in my opinion. With Childs being a mobile guy and Mackey watch tight end. All right, let's get into their 2024 schedule. Flip the cameras. All right. And as you can see, we are starting off with Florida Atlantic. This is Stripe the Stadium, so it looks like this is going to be a stripe out for the Michigan State Spartans. This is a 7 o'clock start on August 30th, so Friday night. Michigan State likes to do those Friday night games. and quite frankly, I do too because I kind of like watching them um, to see what that's kind of what they're made of. Um, hold on. Oh, okay. I apologize. I thought I was still in Indiana, but I'm not. And the reason why I think that is because their win total via FanDuel is predicted as the same with 5.5. So Indiana and Michigan State both sitting at 5.5 wins via FanDuel. Let's see what the Spartans do. So Friday night under the lights, Florida Atlantic W. Then they go on the road to College Park to go to play Maryland. This is kind of a weird game to predict, in my opinion. The Terps need to improve their run game and their quarterback situation is kind of up in the air at the moment. So this is like almost like me describing MSU, but MSU has more upside with their quarterback and being Charles. So I'm gonna lean Spartans here because there seems to be more stability at that position with the green and white. Okay, they come back home to host Prairie View A&M. That's a W. Um, that'll be a Saturday game. They then travel to Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. They're going to play Boston College and Bill O'Brien. So Bill O'Brien there. This is going to be a tough road test for Jonathan Smith Spartans. I gave the dub at College Park because of that quarterback situation, but here against Bill O'Brien's Golden Eagles, I'm going to give the Spartans a loss. If they win this one, it won't surprise me either. But two road tests early, I don't think they're going to sweep both of them. I think they're going to split them. They come back home for Ohio State. This is going to be a loss, and this is going to be a tough stretch here, right? I said there's going to be a tough 5-game stretch. You got, like I said, let's say Boston College, Ohio State, Oregon, Iowa, Michigan, right? Doesn't matter if they're going to be home or away. We are taking an L here at home against Ohio State. This is to me, I hope both teams lose both. I kind of say that for when Ohio State plays Notre Dame too. Hope both teams lose. Then they got to go to Eugene. So just a gross back to back here. This one's on Friday as well. This is going to be a very, very intriguing conference schedule because of these Friday games. You have games going to be happening in Wrigley Field and baseball stadiums. You got Big Ten games way super late in the evening on the East Coast. You're going to have Friday nights. It's going to be very weird. But Michigan is going to Eugene on October 4th, 9 p.m. start, right? This is on Fox. That's going to be a loss too. They come back home, homecoming literally, for Iowa. Give me, give me the Hawkeyes here. Um, but we're right in the smack dab of this rough part of the schedule. Um, at Michigan in Ann Arbor. I'm actually thinking about going to this game because it's going to be the following week. Excuse me, after I get back from Michigan's road game at Champaign. This is going to be a W as well. Paul Bunyan staying at home in Ann Arbor. I'm going to be curious to see how Jonathan Smith's similar offense and defensive schemes to Michigan line up here. Like he's going to want to run the ball. Michigan State has tried to I don't know rely on the trenches, if you will, all the way from Mark D'Antonio. So it it's going to be a hard fought game. Hopefully, it doesn't get out of hand. And of course, you don't mind the chippiness between the players on the field as long as there's no punches being thrown and ripping off the helmets and stuff like that. So hopefully um, the you know what I'm saying. Hopefully the violence is cut to a minimum, if not at all. And I think we're going to be seeing that this season. And then right here is where I think Michigan State can turn around or at least salvage part of their year. Okay, so they get through that rough patch of 5 games, then they come home for Indiana. Okay, as you heard earlier in the episode, I'm giving Michigan State the win here. They're going to beat Indiana. They're going to beat Illinois at home. They're going to beat Purdue at home. This is going to be another Friday night game against the Boilermakers. And then they host Rutgers. Okay. Um, let's see here. Um, see right here. I must have been my brain must have been you know my brain biscuits weren't turning right here. As I said, MSU's going to finish the season on a 3-game dub streak. They're going to finish on a 5-game win streak. Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers. Actually, no, I take that back. 4-game win streak. Excuse me, I can't. Apparently, I just can't count at all. Rutgers is going to bring in former Minnesota State quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis, okay, to replace Gavin Wimsatt. While I have given my kudos to Greg Schiano's team, and of course, we'll get to the Scarlet Knights, I am still going to go with the Spartans here. Okay, again, the quarterback situation is more stable for the Spartans, and I feel like Rutgers is just kind of evening it out, maybe even taking a slight downgrade, moving on to Kaliakmanis. Now, I guess maybe Gavin Wimsatt is about the same. I just feel like it's kind of a slight downgrade because Wimsatt was a little bit more mobile in the pocket, but I'm actually smashing the over here on MSU's wins. I got them going at 7-5, 5-4 in the conference. Okay, so I got Indiana under 5.5, got MSU over 5.5, and like I said at the top, this team can be a lot better than what people are going to give him credit for if Aiden Childs is the real deal. Okay, this is his first year actually starting, so you're going to see growing pains, but my eyeballs are on MSU next year. Not this year, but next year. But you can't take this team lightly. They're going to be well coached. So I think 7-5 is fair. And as a Michigan fan, I feel like I'm sick to my stomach saying that. But no, seriously though, I think that's a fair assessment for Michigan State. 7-5, losing to the losable games, right? That Boston College game and that Maryland game might flip flop. But other than that, I really think that I can see 7 wins. Okay, let's flip y'all around, and that's gonna do it. Indiana, Michigan State. Um, that is gonna be down 12 teams. We are gonna have 2 more episodes with 2 teams. Okay, I'm gonna try to do one more episode this week of 2 teams, and then that'll give us 4, but essentially 3 episodes. Okay, because we're gonna do Ohio State and Michigan single-handedly. Um, again, the Southeast Michigan podcast, free and available wherever you watch or listen. And again, I appreciate that support. That's why I'm doing 2 jersey giveaways. So again, if you want to win a JJ McCarthy jersey, you want to try to win a Blake Corum jersey, all you got to do, follow the show Twitter account. Go to the YouTube, comment on any one of the episode videos, your Twitter name. Boom, entered. That's all you got to do. Very simple. And that is for my appreciation to um, show my gratitude because of how this show has grown over the last year and how we have now reached multiple countries. So, again, I really do appreciate that. Again, if you are a betting man, football's right around the corner. So, again, you have that ad break there in the middle of the episode. Seriously, sign up expert .com/southeast. And anytime you sign up on a sports book or casino app or whatever, it helps out the show here. So that is very much appreciated. And so, yeah. All right. You guys have a good one. I mean, go blue, right? Hell with the Spartans, hell with the Hoosiers. But 2 more teams down. We've done 2 of the 18 Big Ten teams. Okay. Peace.